What's up, boys? It's Filthy Casual here, just talking to you a little bit about the Warriors' young core. Big shocker. I'm talking about the Warriors. Um, I'm gonna stop rambling on about it and just get it right into it. The Warriors' young core is crazy good, and it's it's really kind of baffling to me how good they are, given the fact that I've seen so many teams around the league struggle to draft consistently well. And then the Warriors are like, we're going to be bad for 1 year. We are going to get rid of half of the people who we think like aren't worth our time. And it's not even to say that the people they got rid of were bad players. And it's they got rid of the players that weren't going to fit in the Warriors system. Like Eric Pascal, like fan favorite for Warriors fans during that down year. The Pask Animal, he scored like I think it was like 37. He had some crazy breakout game where he scored like 37 points, and I think he was one of the leading scorers on those teams. Because you have to remember, Curry was out, Clay was out, Poole was like terrible. Poole was really bad that year. For those of you who don't remember, he was drafted end of the first round. He comes in, it's like, okay, so this is our first round pick this year. Let's take a look. And he was missing every shot. His efficiency sucked. His ball handling, he was getting stripped all the time. I have to say, like, he had this goofy looking haircut, and I was like, this guy sucks. This dude sucks. And I was fully on the board of F Jordan Poole. This guy, like, I didn't even see flashes. Like, that first year was tough. And there must have been something that was happening during his practices and all that stuff because he was terrible. And then, he went to the G League and he performed well. Um, I'm going to take a quick peek at those stats. In 2019, 2020, he was shooting, he was actually doing really well in the G League. But the during like the actual game, he was terrible. If you look at Jordan Poole's just like normal NBA stats in 2019, 2020, 33% from the field. 33% in 20 minutes on just under 9 attempts. He was shooting 20, well, let's say 28% because it's 27.9. It's 28% from 3. 40% effective field goal percentage, which is like 10 points, more than 10 points below league average. His assist numbers sucked. His points sucked. His steals sucked. He was turning the ball over more than half the time, more than half of the amount of time. Like, this dude was trash. And the Warriors were like, we're going to send him to the G League. We're going to get him his reps. And while he showed out in the G League, which was like, okay, nice. So there's something there. And he slowly improved. And in 2020, 2021, he was just as, well, not just as bad, but at the start of the season, it was dreadful. It was tough. And over the course of the year, obviously he was getting a lot of reps in the G League at this point in time because a lot of his games were not playing on the NBA level. Like, he was missing, they were sending him out. He was getting DMP coaches' decisions. He was inactive. Yeah, he was inactive for about 15 games in the middle of the season. Like, he just wasn't there. And then he comes out, I believe, post All-Star break, and then he suddenly starts to be hitting shots. And you start to take notice. You're like, oh, whoa, whoa, Jordan F. and Poole. And man, now it's a pool party. Now it's a pool party. And the thing is that Jordan Poole might not even be the best young player that they can have. Jonathan Kaminga and James Wiseman both theoretically could have way higher ceilings than Jordan Poole. Jonathan Kaminga is one of the most athletically freakish people I've seen. In fact, the only like I don't even have a comparison. I guess Like Giannis is too easy. It's kind of like when I'll say he's kind of close to Wiggins in a way, where sometimes he just like stretches out his like long freaky arms and he jumps and you just go, whoa, that guy got a pie, and then he just goes right in. And when you see it, you're just like, that's freaky. How do you do that? And Jonathan Kaminga, his stats still like, first off, Kaminga, Kaminga, if he was on any other team, well, not any other team, but like any non-contending team, and he was just getting PT, the man would have averaged like 18 points. He would have been one of the leading rookies in scoring last year. And when you saw him in summer league, he scored 28 points. I think it was against the Spurs. He just has this kind of ability to get to the rim and just bully other people. It's in a way that's kind of scary. And as long as he can cut down on some of the like little mistakes on the defensive end and become like a real defensive player, Kaminga is going to be a perennial all-star. I'm not saying he's going to be an MVP, but like he remind like I'm not comparing him to Giannis, but he will be an all-star, a repeated all-star. And all he has to do is bulk up and get better at defense, because the offensive game, the offensive skill set for him, the map, the outline is already there, and he really is quite fantastic. Over a little bit. I think another one of the underrated things people say about Moses Moody is that people are like, oh, his ceiling's not that high. His ceiling's not that high, but like he's solid. Like he's solid. I don't think people value what Moses Moody brings enough. He is someone whose production reminds me a lot of what Otto Porter Jr. gave the Warriors this year. Obviously, Otto Porter Jr. was an absolute bucket all year. It's sad to see him go. Best of luck on his new team, but like, man, Otto Porter Jr. did not miss shots like all year. That man shot like well over 40% from three. He was solid defensively. He never held the ball too long. He moved it, and Moses Moody reminds me exactly of that, except I think his ball handling is far more competent. And the fact that that guy, the guy who's think makes me think, oh wow, that guy could be a better version of what Otto Porter Jr. was for the Warriors this year. And Otto Porter Jr. was at times the most clutch player on the floor. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. If the New York Knicks has Moses Moody, I would be so effing happy. I'd be so happy. I'd be like, Moody, Moody. I'd be talking crap. I would be talking so much crap. He would be our starting guard. That's how good he is. It would be him and Evan Fournier. Like, I love Quickly, but Moses Moody is better than Quickly. Like right now, just the facts. Like Quickly's got a lot going for him, but he had a tough year last year. He's been struggling. Moses Moody like flashed a higher ceiling than that. And now the last guy, James Wiseman. I have to say, what frustrates me about Wiseman is that he's so talented and he just hasn't played basketball. And I don't mean like at an NBA level. Like this dude just hasn't played basketball. He like played like 3 games in college. He played like 20 games in his first year, something like that. It wasn't a lot of games. And before getting injured, and then last year he missed the entire year. And I think my biggest fear for Wiseman is that all this is just delaying his defensive IQ, because his defensive IQ isn't very high. He definitely, compared to a lot of other Warriors players, was getting lost in his rotations, and it's and I'm not saying that like he's a bad defender. because that's a different thing from your defensive IQ. His defensive IQ in the Warriors system need time to gel. And this is exactly what I was saying earlier about the Warriors being like, we're going to suck for a year and we're going to look for who's going to fit with us, because they had some really young players that were really like shining in their larger roles on that team, like Eric Pascal. And what did they trade Eric Pascal for? Like a second round pick and like some cash or something. Like it wasn't a lot. And yeah, Pascal has struggled to find his feet in a different team, but he was showing really good flashes on those Warrior squads. And he just didn't fit with the defensive system. I'm afraid that Wiseman is going to have the same thing, where he's going to be really good. Yes, he's going to be, X, Y, and Z. However, it is scary when he doesn't play for as long as he's played. And then you're going to throw him onto a team with championship aspirations, especially next year. Like the Warriors want to win this upcoming year and the year after that. Those are the two titles that they feel they have a really good chance at getting. And I don't blame them. They've got Steph Curry, got Klay Thompson coming off. They've got Jordan Poole. They've got Draymond Green. And before Steph, Klay, Dre age out, you really want that next player to be coming up and be taking that spot, kind of like Tim Duncan, right? Like it's very similar to the Tim Duncan, David Robinson situation, right? And everybody's heard this before, where Timmy gets drafted. Now suddenly David Robinson doesn't have to be all time great to win a title, and Tim and him and everybody's playing well. James Wiseman was supposed to be that for the Warriors, and he's just been injured and he hasn't played, and he didn't play in college. So there's a lot of like little things that he just hasn't had the time to develop that might not fit the timeline. That's not to say that the Warriors should trade him. I don't think they should trade him. What he offers and can offer that team is way too good to trade him. However, I'm not saying we should play him 34 minutes a game. He shouldn't get those minutes. Von Looney should be getting, at least 23, 24 minutes minimum. But, that's in line with what he's gotten historically. And as long as he gets his playing time and he gets his reps in, I think he'll be fine, but it's just a matter of timing. But the Warriors' future looks bright regardless. These four players are all magnificent, really brilliant. I think most teams, if they could trade like everybody for these four, they would do it. Like, this is what the Kevin Durant sweepstakes would like. They would like these four players and Andrew Wiggins, or -1, and put in Wiggins. But yeah, all right. Thank you for watching. If you watched it, hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. I try to get right into the video this time because I've noticed that I talk a lot at the start and then people click and then they don't watch. So I try to get right into it and then ramble at the end. So hopefully you liked it. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.